we are going to finish the flavor bombs we started a few weeks ago. These are fermented, and it took a little longer than expected because our temperatures dropped dramatically. And fermentation is directly affected by temperature. If you are in an environment where it's really warm, you're actually going to have to find ways to cool your ferments down to slow them down. But if you're in a place that's really cold, it's the opposite. You'll have to find ways to bring it up. We are in Virginia, so usually it's not an issue, but we dropped really fast. And we were kind of resisting turning the heat on and all that stuff. And it was just a little uncomfortable in the house, and it slowed my ferments down. No problem, they taste amazing. So now we're just going to finish what we started. In case you missed part one, I will link it below. But just as a reminder for those of you who didn't, we had the fermented peppers. Now in here, there's also garlic, there's hot peppers and sweet peppers. Now I didn't go crazy with the hot peppers, but there's enough that it's definitely gonna have a little warmth. We've got some lemons that we did. We've got ginger and garlic. Oh, I'm sorry, ginger and turmeric. And didn't I have one? And of course our fermented garlic. We're gonna start here. This is super easy. The flavor, this is what you would use to just add a little bit to the beginning of cooking a dish, adding it to sauces, adding it to marinades, adding it to salad dressings. It just gives you this big pop of flavor that is kind of unexpected because it's super deep because of the fermentation. So we're going to start with our garlic. And I've got weights in here, and I thought I guess I didn't. We've got to get the weights out. And the weights are to keep what we're fermenting under our brine. Let's stick that right there. Now I have a very clean bowl here, and let's actually move everything over because I don't know if I'm as centered as I could be. So we've got our nice bowl. We've got a strainer, and it's a very fine strainer, okay? Because we want to make sure we get everything out. We want to have full control over what's going on. So we're going to pour everything out. The smell is unbelievable. Ooh, it's like a punch in the face of garlic, but not in an obnoxious way. It's made my mouth water. Whoa, okay, that's got a definite kick to it. Now, I didn't make huge amounts because here's the key. If you make huge amounts, of course you could. You could make big old quarts, you could make half gallons, whatever you want to do, because I do other ferments in much bigger amounts. I do these in smaller amounts because it allows us to make different changes. You use it up and you make another one that's got a little shift here, a little shift there, so they're never boring. You can mix up different ideas. It's just fun. And if you make a whole big amount, you're kind of stuck with this one amount, this one flavor until you finish it, hopefully, because we don't want to waste. So I make it in smaller jars. I try to keep it in this range so that we go through a few tablespoons. It's incredible. We had a great time with it. If we loved it and we don't want any changes, we make that same one again. If we just have a desire for some, let's make a Thai flavor, let's make, whatever it is, you can do that because it's learning the process. Once you learn the process, the flavors are all up to you. So now we are going to take our garlic, and the brine is in the bottom, and we're going to save that. Now we are going to, I'm using the what is this thing? The NutriBullet. I'm the worst with that. The NutriBullet, because if I use the big Vitamix, I didn't use a big amount. It's really a pain in the neck to keep the blade going to really engage. So I'd rather do it this way, so it's just not such a pain, even if I have to do more than one batch. Okay, so we're going to take our garlic, and oh gosh, it smells so good. It's just this deeply savory flavor. It almost smells like it's roasted when it's not. Okay, and then I have brain damage. Just to make sure that we can get the motor going, we take just a few tablespoons of that brine. I'm going to use 3. Okay, then we set that aside. Now that is an active ferment. That's an active culture. If you wanted to start something else, you could kickstart it using the liquid from this one, which is pretty cool. So there was something, I had it written down because I will never remember it. The garlic, I did that. Oh, the olive oil, I already know. And the lemon zest, that's why I had it in front of me. Okay, so make sure you're using a nice clean lemon. If you use organic, they're not covered in wax. So we definitely want to go that route. I don't wish to have wax in my mouth. So I'm going to take the entire zest off of here. I want it to have big, bright flavor. Okay. And I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to add just a little bit of my lemon juice, just a little bit. Not even enough to go get my big juicer. Half a lemon. I use that to make sure I don't end up with seeds. And then olive oil. Come out. And we want the olive oil to, it's going to give us that silkiness. Okay, and then I did something cool. I also roasted garlic so that we could have some of the roasted garlic oil, which is going to add garlic flavor, but completely different. And just a little bit of the whole roast garlic cloves I'm going to add here. Again, it's just going to give us this really nice flavor. It's not all the same garlic. Some of it's roasted, some of it's fermented. It's so good. Okay, oh, one more thing. Where are you? And a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes. If you don't like spicy, leave it out. Okay, I just add a little, and then I add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, because this is an ingredient. So if you add a lot of salt to it now, and remember, this is fermented, so it's going to have a little bit of a kick that way. So be careful with your salt. A pinch is fine. Okay, make sure it's sealed. I don't want to tell you what happened last time I didn't, and it made a mess. Oh, that was unpleasant. Now, I'm not going to let it keep going. I want to control it. I'm not looking to make like a mayonnaise out of this. I want to have a little bit of texture. Now, that's up to you. If you don't want to have a little bit of texture, if you want it completely smooth. Haha, excuse me. If you want it completely smooth, that's up to you. I like to have a little bit of that texture. I just think it's nice. I'm pretty fussy about texture. So that's why I go up and down. Let's see where we are. I made it so tight it can't open it. Ah, there we go. Oh boy. Oh my word. Okay. Now, I can see that I need to add a bit more olive oil, but I'm going to show you. Don't worry, I'm just scraping down the sides. Scrape from that bottom, bring it up. And this is what it looks like right now. See how thick that is? But I want it to have just a little more oil. And then remember, what we're going to do when we store these is they're all going to be stored under oil. And that'll just keep the air out and keep them fresh longer. So when you take some out, you make sure you just float a little more oil over the top. And they are stored in the fridge. These are not canned or anything like that. If you were to can them, it would ruin that live bacteria that you have in there that's actually really good for you. So the fun about this is that it's so delicious, and then it's good for you too, which is, I mean, how can you go wrong? Okay, so wow, that smells amazing. I'm going to add just a bit more. Oh, I've got some stuck in the blade. It's always stuck in the blade. I'm going to add just a bit more oil, but the oil I'm going to add is the roasted garlic. Okay, stop there. Perfect. Perfect. And then we're just going to jar it up, and we'll get reset for the next one. I ended up with more than I expected. That happens every time, and I don't know why I don't learn. Because I don't learn. Okay, so now we saved our brine, because that brine is going to kickstart our next ferment. And we're going to just take olive oil and seal the top, meaning we're just going to float about an inch of olive oil over the top. You want to clean the edges so you're not leaving anything, because anything that's exposed can go bad, you know, on the edges or anything like that. And we don't want that at all. So we're just going to move that aside. Everything will get a lid when we're done, and labeled and all that good stuff. Labeled and dated, always important. And the next one we're going to do, this one is our ginger and our turmeric. I'm excited about this. This is really good if you're making Asian flavors. So delicious. And the color, so beautiful. So, same thing. Everything's been cleaned, very cleaned. Wow. We have to get our weight out of here. Okay. And now I have what I have here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our fermented vegetables into our dish. We're going to add some of the saved brine. But this one, what did I want? I wanted to add honey, lime zest, and black pepper. Okay, so let's, you know what, just to be on the safe side, because this is really thick, I'm going to add a bit of that brine right down there to the bottom so that it really is easy to get going. I'm going to put our turmeric. And again, because I was looking to get a good ferment going, I did not peel the garlic or the ginger. It's well cleaned. That's why it's important to use organic. So if you're growing yourself or you're going to a farmer's market or whatever market you have that sells organic things that you trust, that's what you want to do. Because if you're using something that's been sprayed, that spray will stop your ferment and it will not work. It will kill the natural bacteria that we're trying to encourage. So we've got that. We've got our honey. I don't measure this. I just give it a nice little drop in there. I've decided I want to add a little kick to that. So even though it's not on my paper, I'm going to add that. We like a little bit of spicy around here. And we've got black pepper, salt, oil, and the zest of a lime. And we're going to add the juice of the lime as well. I love the smell of lime zest. It is maybe one of my favorite smells in the world. Okay, and I put you somewhere. Ah, there you are. See how juicy this is, and we'll determine if we need a whole lime or a half. That's nice, but we're going to need the whole thing. Beautiful. Okay. Where'd I put you? I get on my own nerves. Okay, hang on. Let's clean up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Oh my word. Wow. Absolutely wow. Now this one, huge, huge ginger flavor. That turmeric, the lime juice, that little bit of hit of the chili. Absolutely fabulous. If you're making something that's curry or stir fries or anything like that, start with this in your pan. You brown it in your oil and then build from there. It is, oh my gosh. And then if you like cilantro, which I do, I would definitely use cilantro in that dish because this right now is screaming for cilantro. Okay, so then we tap it so we get it as flat as possible, and we do the same. We do the same thing, and we float that oil over the top. That is functioning as our seal. Every time you take some out, you float a little bit more on there. Okay, so now we're going to clean up, reset. Now we're doing the lemon, and the lemon is one of the favorites. Surely you've heard of preserved lemons, and it's often used in like northern African cooking, like in Morocco and things like that. It's a flavor that is addictive. It's absolutely delicious, but you don't have to use it in just that way. Whenever you're looking for this big punch of lemon, but you don't need it to be super, super sour, but you want that, you want your mouth to tingle right here, this is the stuff. Marinades, salad dressings, sauces, a little bit of, to add a little height to something like soup or stew. So good. This stuff loves chicken. So a chicken dish and this stuff can't go wrong. So here we go. Everything's ready to go. We're all cleaned up. I took the weight out already. I'm out. There we go. Now what's going to happen is your lemons are going to be super tender. As they ferment, the skin on the outside becomes super soft, and it's just, oh my word. That water's hot. Okay, I had to, I couldn't help myself. It's the best you can ask from lemon without making you just kind of go like that, if that makes any sense at all. All right, here we go. We're going to take a bit of our brine. Now, I'm not using the brine from the lemon. It's really intense. So I'm going to use this one from our first dish because it's got a little bit of garlic in it, and I like that. So then we're also going to add to this particular one our garlic oil and our garlic. That's why I made it. Our slices of lemon. Now, I did it in slices because I think it's pretty, and I think it's pretty in the jar. Does it need to be that way? No. Would it matter if you chopped them up? If you chopped them up smaller, it would ferment faster. So the smaller the pieces, the faster it will go. We're going to take just a bit of honey, not a lot, because we're not trying to reduce our acid, but we're just trying to mellow it so it's not super, super intense. So I put in there about a teaspoon. If I don't put the chili in, now this, it tends to lean towards a little more salt. So I'm going to put in even less. That's even less than half a teaspoon of salt. We've got our black pepper. We've got a bit of olive oil. Rinse my hands again. That water is crazy hot today. Wow. Okay. I don't think I forgot anything, because this one I make often enough that it's usually in my head. There it is. Perfect. Now, let's see what we got. I'm going to reach in with my fork. I removed the seeds when I sliced. Oh. See, now what I didn't do is take it down to a complete puree. You see, I like that bit of texture. So, you know, when it hits your tooth and you get just that little bit of a zap of lemon, I like that. If you don't want that, if you want it to be completely smooth and have it be a complete paste, it's yours. Do as you wish. This also is really good when you're making a marinade, like using yogurt. If you're making shawarma or something like that. Oh, so, so good. We tap it down so we're nice and even so that we can float our oil right over the top. And we want to float about an inch. If you leave it too close, it risks getting bacteria in it, and we don't want that. So I'll get a lid and all that stuff. I've got the ring. And we've got one more, and then we're done. So we're going to clean up, reset, and we're going to go with our last one. This one, we're going to do something that's Italian. It is so yummy. I'm excited. I'm excited. So let's get this all cleaned up and hurry up so we can get to this. And this is another favorite. This is a pepper conserva. And it's very similar in that we're going to drain off our fermented peppers. Now in here I have sweet peppers, hot peppers, and garlic. Oh. The liquid in this one smells so delicious that I think it would make a really good salad dressing on its own. That's how delicious that is. Now, I just saw the weight. Ha ha ha. There you are. Now, this one makes a lot, but it should. It's fabulous. Okay, so this one is going to take our peppers. We've got sun-dried tomatoes. In this case, I have 7. My hand is oily. I don't like that. They were oil-packed sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm really particular about things touching my fingers. Okay. We've got some oregano. In this case, it's marjoram. I use marjoram in place of oregano a lot. Marjoram is wild oregano. I grow both in my garden. I always use up the marjoram first, and then I use up the oregano. One would think just grow more marjoram. I don't know why I don't. I have no excuse. Okay, so we're going to use a bit of our lemon juice. Okay. A quick splash of white wine vinegar, of which the homemade I am out. I have more being made, but it is not ready. This one I got from Azure Standard, and it's really good. So if you don't have homemade handy, this stuff's great. So I've got that. We've got our salt and pepper. And now I need another spoon. I put my other spoon away. We need a few tablespoons. I have a thing about open doors and open drawers. It's like it makes me crazy. A door that's open that shouldn't be, oh my God. So I'm using 4 because it's so good. When the camera's off, I'm probably going to take a sip of that. That's just the truth. Okay, this is a lot, so we're going to see how we do. This one I ordinarily would have done in the Vitamix, but I'm not going to do that right now. I have everything all set up. See, whole garlic cloves. I don't cut them. I leave them whole. Let's start from here. Now, what we can do, 2 things. One, you can, there we go. One, you can make half all the way down to a complete puree and then just chop that up and you have both in there, which is really nice. It adds a beautiful texture, and I have a real thing about textures. You're gonna make sure the sun-dried tomatoes get, there it goes. Okay. Now the sun-dried tomatoes are all, oh, wow. The minute you crack it, the smell is like, whoo. Oh, for crying out loud. All right, and then I'm gonna add this, but I'm gonna just give it a quick chop, chop, chop so that I can keep the texture. I want both a bit of puree and a bit of the chopped pepper. Hey. Okay, I guess he earned his right not to join. So I'm going to do this real fast. Oh, don't you leak on me. Okay. And that's it. That way we get both. Well, let's just make sure. Yes. See? So we get, oh my gosh. This is what it looks like. And then you would saute this in your olive oil, and you use this as the base for pizza sauces. Ah, I don't know what just got in my eye. I'm sorry. You use this for the base of any sauce, marinades, grilled meats. It's delicious even if you take a little bit, add it to salad dressing, and shake it up and put it on there. It's huge flavor, and it has the nerve to be good for us. I mean, my gosh. Oh my gosh. The smell of this, the flavor, what do they call that? The flavor jets, they went off. I don't know who said, I heard that somewhere. That's not mine. I didn't make that up. Okay, we're going to pack this up, float them in oil, and then I'll just say the closing things and we're done. Let me clean this up. I have made a mess. Oh no. Oh no, never mind. I was about to put pepper flakes in here. There's hot peppers already in here. See, even when my brain decides to shut off, it's protecting me. God loves me. All right, we'll clean this up and we'll be right back. So this is our final product. Remember, these have to be stored in the refrigerator. And when you get your ferments to exactly where you want them, you know, because they live at room temperature while they're fermenting, you put them in the fridge and it almost stops it. It does not completely 100% stop. It slows it down to a crawl, which is great because hopefully you're going to use it up. So these have oil floated on the top about 1 inch, and we want to maintain that inch until we get all the way to the bottom and we've eaten it all. In the printable that I'm including with this video, there's going to be some ideas for you to use, what to do with these. And of course, as I always do, I'm going to make some recipes with these going forward to show you how to use them. I hope you love this. I think it's great. We've enjoyed these many times, all different types of flavors, and your imagination is the only thing that's stopping you from creating all new ones. And I hope you do, and if you do, please let me know because I'd like to try yours. Thank you so much for spending time with me today in my kitchen. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. If you like what we do here, I hope you'd consider subscribing. It means a lot to me, and I thank you so much. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.